In the stillness of his tent, under the soft glow of candlelight, a young emperor wrote, alone, while his armies rested. Despite commanding the mightiest empire the world had ever seen, he wasn't writing of conquest or the pursuit of glory. Instead, he focused on something far more intimate, his internal battle for self-mastery. His words were simple yet profound. The impediment to action advances action. He understood that the very obstacles we face, whether external or internal, are not to be feared or avoided, but embraced, for they are the very stepping stones to our growth. This emperor was Marcus Aurelius, and little did he know, his private journals would survive for 2,000 years, inspiring millions. His wisdom transcended the walls of his empire and reached the hearts of future generations. He understood a fundamental truth: true success, success that lasts through chaos and challenge, is born not of external glory or fortune, but of internal mastery. And he was not alone in this insight. The Stoics, whose philosophy Marcus followed, knew that the key to enduring success lies in mastering oneself. Today, their teachings continue to resonate, providing the blueprint for thriving in the face of adversity. From CEOs to athletes to artists, these ancient principles are still alive in the habits of the world's most successful individuals. The fascinating part? While most people chase success as though it's a destination to be reached, the Stoics understood that true success is cultivated from the inside out. It's not something to chase, it's something to grow. So, what exactly are these ancient secrets that have stood the test of time? What are the habits that transform mere survival into true, lasting success? Over the next few moments, we'll explore 6 Stoic habits that have shaped the lives of emperors, revolutionaries, and everyday people who found strength in the face of life's toughest battles. These habits don't just build success, they transform who you are, empowering you to become a force of resilience, creativity, and unshakable confidence. Are you ready to uncover these timeless principles and learn how to integrate them into your own life? The journey begins now. Hard work, the quiet forge of greatness. Hard work isn't just a path to success, it is the crucible in which greatness is forged. To the Stoics, it wasn't a matter of chasing glory but aligning one's actions with purpose and perseverance. Hard work, they believed, was the ultimate test of one's resolve and a defining feature of a life well lived. The Stoic perspective. Epictetus, born a slave, became one of the most revered philosophers of his time, not because life was kind to him, but because he embraced its challenges with relentless effort. What stands in the way becomes the way, he famously said, turning obstacles into stepping stones. For the Stoics, hard work wasn't drudgery. It was a daily reaffirmation of their capacity to shape their destiny. The hidden power of hard work. True hard work is rarely glamorous. It's waking up before the world stirs, practicing in solitude, and perfecting the unseen details. Consider Michelangelo laboring for 4 years, often upside down, to paint the Sistine Chapel. To him, it wasn't torture, it was transcendence, a way to breathe life into his vision. He famously said, "If people knew how hard I worked to gain my mastery, it wouldn't seem so wonderful at all." The intrigue of the process. The intrigue of hard work lies in its alchemy. Each repetition sharpens skill, every failure strengthens resolve, and every unnoticed effort compounds into mastery. It's why elite athletes obsessively train when no one is watching, or why scientists spend years chasing fleeting breakthroughs. The Stoics understood this transformation well. The process, not the outcome, is where the magic resides. Hard work as a form of freedom. Hard work isn't just toil, it's liberation. It frees you from mediocrity, from the limitations of raw talent, and from the trap of entitlement. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Hard work unlocks the profound realization that you have control over your growth, regardless of external circumstances. A challenge to embrace. Hard work whispers a challenge. Will you dare to pursue it? Not for applause or reward, but because it transforms you into someone capable of extraordinary things. Like the blacksmith forging steel, each blow strengthens your will, shapes your character, and prepares you for trials yet unseen. Hard work isn't the price of success, it is the success itself. Will you rise to meet its call? Patience, the quiet mastery of time. Patience is a virtue, but more than that, it's a form of power, quiet, steady, and often underestimated. It's not just the ability to wait, it's the wisdom to understand how to wait. To the Stoics, patience wasn't a passive state but an active practice, a dynamic interplay of endurance, wisdom, and self-control. It's the art of moving through life's storms with calmness, knowing that while we cannot control the winds, we can adjust our sails. The Stoic perspective. For the Stoics, patience was essential to greatness. Seneca wrote, "Nothing that is truly great comes to be suddenly." He saw life as a process of cultivation, where everything worthwhile, wisdom, strength, virtue, takes time to grow. Imagine a seed planted in fertile soil. It doesn't sprout into a mighty tree overnight. It takes years of sunlight, rain, and resistance against the wind. Patience is what allows us to nurture that growth, to resist the urge to dig up the roots to see if progress is being made. Patience isn't complacency. It's trusting the process while actively engaging in it. It's the craftsman chiseling a masterpiece one strike at a time, knowing that every small effort contributes to a grander vision. The allure of patience. What makes patience so intriguing is its subtle paradox. It appears passive, but it's profoundly active. It feels like surrender, yet it's a form of control. Consider the artist stepping back from their canvas, letting the paint dry before adding the next layer. This act of waiting is not an action, it's precision. It's the writer setting a manuscript aside, knowing fresh eyes tomorrow will reveal what today's excitement might miss. Impatience tempts us with quick results, but patience assures us that enduring outcomes come to those who persist without rushing. The tension within patience. Patience thrives in tension, the gap between where we are and where we aspire to be. This tension can feel unbearable in a world obsessed with speed and instant gratification. We're conditioned to believe that faster is better, that delays are failures. But patience defies this notion. It whispers, wait. Trust. The best things in life aren't rushed. Think of Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison. He didn't waste those years in despair. He used them to refine his resolve, emerging not bitter but stronger, wiser, and ready to lead a nation. His patience wasn't idle, it was transformative. The strength to endure. Patience is a form of endurance. It's the marathon runner pacing themselves through miles of exhaustion, the student persisting through countless revisions of a thesis, the parent guiding a child through the long journey of growing up. Patience acknowledges that the most meaningful progress isn't visible in the moment. Like water wearing down rock, its power lies in persistence, not force. The Stoics practiced patience through voluntary hardship, training themselves to endure discomfort. Epictetus reminded his students, "It is not things that disturb us, but our judgments about them." Patience, then, is not just about waiting, it's about cultivating the right mindset while waiting. Patience and self-mastery. Here's the paradoxical beauty of patience. It makes you both the master and the servant of time. Impatience demands control over circumstances, often leading to frustration when things don't move as expected. Patience, on the other hand, grants control over yourself. It's not a submission to fate but a partnership with it. Patience transforms failures into lessons, obstacles into opportunities, and waiting into wisdom. It teaches us to see value in the process, not just the outcome. It's the parent planting a tree they may never sit under, knowing their effort will bear fruit for future generations. A challenge to embrace. So, how do you cultivate patience? Start small. Choose one area in your life where you often feel rushed or frustrated. Practice slowing down. Reflect on what you can control and what you cannot. Trust that the time you invest will yield results, even if you can't see them immediately. Patience is a quiet rebellion against the tyranny of immediacy. It asks for faith, not blind faith, but faith in the power of persistence and the wisdom of time. It's the belief that the oak tree will emerge from the acorn if you nurture it, the confidence that your efforts, though invisible now, are laying the foundation for something extraordinary. Will you embrace the challenge? Will you lean into the discomfort of waiting, trusting that it will transform you? Patience is not just a virtue, It's a profound act of courage. And those who master it find that time is no longer an enemy but an ally, working with them to achieve greatness. Sacrifice, the currency of greatness. Sacrifice is a word often misunderstood. To many, it feels like loss, a giving up of something we hold dear. But to those who truly understand it, sacrifice is not about deprivation, it's an investment. It's the deliberate choice to let go of the immediate for the sake of the enduring. To the Stoics and to the great minds and achievers of history, sacrifice is the currency with which greatness is purchased. The Stoic understanding of sacrifice. The Stoics saw life as a series of choices. Marcus Aurelius advised, "If you seek tranquility, do less." But the less he referred to wasn't laziness, it was prioritization. Sacrifice, in their eyes, was the art of saying no to what is unnecessary so you could say a profound yes to what truly matters. For the Stoics, sacrifice wasn't merely about letting go of material comforts. It was about sacrificing ego, fear, and fleeting pleasures to align with their higher purpose. They practiced voluntary discomfort, sleeping on hard beds, fasting, or dressing in simple clothes, not as acts of self-punishment but as a way to prove to themselves that they could endure. Sacrifice wasn't suffering, it was freedom from the chains of dependency. The power of letting go. Sacrifice is intriguing because it carries the power of transformation. Think of a sculptor chipping away at a block of marble. Each piece removed feels like a loss, yet with every strike, the true form of the sculpture is revealed. Sacrifice does the same in life. By letting go of what is unnecessary, we make room for what is essential. Consider the athlete who sacrifices late nights and junk food to hone their body into a vessel of excellence. Or the entrepreneur who sacrifices leisure time and comfort to bring a vision to life. These sacrifices aren't losses, they're the price of progress. Sacrifice and stories of greatness. History and mythology are filled with examples of sacrifice as the gateway to greatness. Think of Hercules, who sacrificed a life of ease to undertake the 12 labors, earning immortality not through privilege but through perseverance. Or think of Nelson Mandela, who sacrificed decades of his freedom to dismantle the chains of apartheid. One modern parallel is Malala Yousafzai, who risked her safety and comfort for the right to education, not just for herself, but for countless others. Her sacrifices weren't just acts of courage, they were acts of conviction, a refusal to let the immediate outweigh the eternal. The paradox of sacrifice. Here's the fascinating paradox. Sacrifice often feels like loss in the moment, yet it brings profound gain in the long run. The farmer sacrifices a seed to the earth, trusting it will yield a harvest. The artist sacrifices hours of leisure for the sake of a masterpiece. The parent sacrifices personal ambition to nurture the dreams of their child. The Stoics believed this paradox revealed a profound truth: nothing worth having comes without cost. As Epictetus said, "If you want something, you must pay the price." The question isn't whether sacrifice is necessary, it's whether what you're sacrificing for is worth it. Sacrifice as liberation. Sacrifice isn't about giving up, it's about trading up. It liberates us from lesser things to pursue greater ones. It's the musician who gives up fleeting distractions to master their instrument, the student who sacrifices sleep for study, the activist who risks personal comfort for collective justice. The ultimate sacrifice, however, is not of things but of self. It's the willingness to surrender comfort, pride, or security in the service of a cause greater than yourself. This is what separates those who live passively from those who live purposefully. A challenge to consider. What are you willing to sacrifice for your dreams? Time? Comfort? Ego? The truth is, we're all sacrificing something every day, whether we realize it or not. The question is whether those sacrifices align with our values and aspirations. So, take a moment to reflect. What in your life is taking up space without adding value? What small sacrifice could you make today that would bring you closer to the person you want to become? Sacrifice isn't about what you lose, it's about what you gain. It's the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. It's not a burden but a privilege, a declaration that your goals are worth the cost. In the end, sacrifice isn't just a part of life, it is life. Every choice we make is a trade-off, a decision to invest in one thing over another. The question is, are you making the sacrifices that matter? Consistency, the hidden superpower. In a world enamored by overnight success stories and viral fame, consistency quietly operates in the background, often unnoticed, yet it's the most potent force for transformation. It's the artist who sketches every day, the athlete who never skips a workout, the writer who pens a few sentences daily. Consistency doesn't dazzle, but it delivers. And therein lies its intrigue. Its power is both understated and unstoppable. The Stoic commitment to consistency. For the Stoics, consistency wasn't just a virtue, it was a way of life. Epictetus advised, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it." They believed that greatness wasn't achieved in grand gestures but in daily habits. Marcus Aurelius, Rome's philosopher-emperor, didn't wait for inspiration to strike. Each evening, by dim candlelight, he wrote reflections in his journal, not for fame, but to discipline his mind and align his actions with his principles. Stoicism teaches that excellence is not a single act but a series of consistent actions. Every small step is a thread in the larger tapestry of character. The unseen magic of repetition. Consistency is intriguing because it defies the allure of immediate results. It operates like compound interest. The small, daily deposits of effort don't seem like much at first, but over time, they snowball into monumental change. Consider the bamboo tree. For years, it grows unseen beneath the soil, its roots quietly expanding. Then, in a matter of weeks, it shoots up to towering heights. The same principle applies to life. The initial grind may feel unrewarding, but consistency builds the foundation for explosive growth. The role of consistency in great achievements. History offers countless examples of the transformative power of consistency. Beethoven didn't compose masterpieces by bursts of inspiration alone. He worked daily, often tweaking a single measure of music dozens of times. Kobe Bryant's legendary basketball career wasn't built on talent alone but on the consistency of arriving at the gym before dawn, honing his skills while others slept. Even nature relies on consistency. The Grand Canyon wasn't carved overnight but over millennia by the steady flow of water. The lesson is clear: small, consistent actions are more powerful than sporadic bursts of effort. The challenge of staying the course. Consistency's greatest challenge is its simplicity. There's no drama in repetition, no immediate applause for sticking to the routine. That's why so many people falter. They confuse excitement with progress and abandon the path when it feels mundane. The Stoics, however, saw value in the mundane. They understood that true mastery comes not from passion but from persistence. Passion may ignite the fire, but consistency keeps it burning. The intrigue of predictability. Here's where consistency becomes fascinating. Its predictability is its strength. When you show up daily, even when you don't feel like it, you eliminate the uncertainty of success. You're no longer at the mercy of motivation or luck, you're in control. Imagine planting a seed. Watering it daily may feel repetitive, but you trust that growth is happening beneath the surface. Consistency builds that same trust in life. Each day you show up, you're watering the seeds of your potential. A modern example, the 1% rule. The 1% rule is a modern echo of Stoic wisdom. It suggests that improving by just 1% each day can lead to dramatic results over time. It's not about massive leaps but about small, consistent gains. A writer who writes 100 words a day will have a novel in a year. A musician who practices for 15 minutes daily will see exponential improvement. Consistency is the ultimate commitment. Here's the secret: consistency isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. You don't have to be flawless, you just have to keep going. Each missed day is a chance to recommit, each setback a reminder of the path forward. And this is what makes consistency so powerful: it's accessible to everyone. You don't need special talent or resources. You just need the willingness to show up, day after day, no matter how small the step. A call to action. So, what's your Grand Canyon? What dream are you willing to chip away at, one drop at a time? Whatever it is, commit to the path of consistency. Start small. Write a paragraph. take a single step, lift one weight. Because the truth is, consistency doesn't just build habits, it builds you. It's not just what you do, it's who you become. And that transformation, though slow, is the most intriguing journey of all. Discipline, the quiet force behind greatness. Discipline is the steel backbone of every success story, the invisible thread that weaves dreams into reality. It's not glamorous or loud. It doesn't rely on bursts of inspiration or fleeting motivation. Instead, it's a quiet force, steady and unyielding, guiding you through challenges, distractions, and doubts. But what makes discipline so intriguing is its paradoxical nature. It's a form of self-restraint that leads to ultimate freedom. While it demands sacrifice in the moment, it rewards you with mastery over your life and the ability to create something extraordinary. The Stoic lens, discipline as freedom. The Stoics revered discipline not as a burden but as liberation. Epictetus, born a slave, became one of the most influential philosophers of his time because he understood that true freedom comes from mastering oneself, not external circumstances. "No man is free who is not master of himself," he declared. For Marcus Aurelius, discipline was a daily practice. Despite being an emperor, surrounded by luxury and distractions, he rose before dawn to reflect and write. He understood that power over others means little if you lack power over yourself. Discipline, to the Stoics, wasn't about rigid rules or self-punishment. It was about aligning your actions with your highest values, even when it was uncomfortable or inconvenient. The power of doing what others won't. Discipline is intriguing because it separates the few who achieve greatness from the many who dream about it. It's the athlete who trains in the rain while others sleep. The entrepreneur who works on weekends while others relax. The artist who sketches through frustration when others give up. Why does discipline matter? Because life rewards those who persist when it's hard. It's not talent or luck that determines success. It's the ability to show up, day after day, regardless of how you feel. The battle within. What makes discipline so compelling is the internal battle it represents. Every time you choose to rise early, resist temptation, or stay focused, you're not just defeating laziness, you're conquering yourself. This battle is universal. The Stoics called it the struggle between reason and impulse. Reason tells you to eat healthily, work diligently, and invest in your growth. Impulse whispers to sleep in, indulge, and procrastinate. Discipline is choosing reason over impulse, again and again, until it becomes second nature. A modern example, the marshmallow test. Discipline's impact is brilliantly captured in the famous marshmallow test. Children were given a choice: eat one marshmallow now or wait 15 minutes and get two. Decades later, researchers found that the children who waited had significantly better life outcomes, from higher academic success to healthier relationships. This study underscores a profound truth: discipline is the ability to delay gratification, to sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term gain. It's a habit that compounds over time, shaping your character and your destiny. The myths about discipline. One of the most fascinating aspects of discipline is how misunderstood it is. People think it's about being naturally tough or motivated, but in reality, discipline is a skill, something you can build. The Stoics practiced discipline through voluntary hardship. They fasted, slept on the floor, and wore simple clothes, even when they could afford luxuries. Why? To remind themselves they could endure discomfort. This practice strengthened their willpower and made them resilient in the face of real adversity. Discipline as a superpower. The intriguing thing about discipline is that it multiplies your efforts. It takes ordinary actions and turns them into extraordinary results. A disciplined writer who commits to 500 words a day will finish a novel in months. A disciplined student who studies an hour daily will outperform those who cram. Over time, discipline builds momentum. Each act of discipline strengthens your ability to tackle bigger challenges, creating a virtuous cycle of growth. The dual reward of discipline. Discipline doesn't just bring external rewards like success or recognition. It transforms you internally. Each time you act with discipline, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. It builds self-trust, confidence, and resilience, qualities that no one can take away. And that's the ultimate intrigue of discipline. It's not just about achieving goals. It's about becoming the kind of person who can achieve them over and over again. A call to action. Think about your goals and dreams. What's holding you back? It's not a lack of talent or opportunity. It's the gap between what you know you should do and what you actually do. Discipline is the bridge. Start small. Wake up 10 minutes earlier. Commit to one healthy meal a day. Write a single paragraph. Discipline isn't built in leaps but in steps. And remember, the most intriguing thing about discipline is that it's available to everyone. It's not a gift or a secret. It's a choice. One small choice today, repeated tomorrow, and again the next day, until it becomes who you are. Your journey toward greatness begins not with a grand act, but with a quiet, disciplined step. Will you take it? Self-confidence, the quiet strength that empowers. Self-confidence is often portrayed as a loud, flashy trait, seen in the successful, the popular, and the loudest voices in the room. Yet, true self-confidence is far subtler and infinitely more powerful. It's not the bold, boastful belief in one's superiority. It's the quiet, unshakable understanding of one's worth, regardless of external validation. It's knowing that, come what may, you can handle it. You're enough. And that is a force that no storm can topple. The Stoic essence, confidence through control. The Stoics define true self-confidence as self-sufficiency, the ability to rely on your own inner resources, unaffected by the ever-changing winds of life. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often reminded himself that his worth was not determined by his position or possessions but by his character and ability to respond virtuously to what life threw his way. For the Stoics, confidence wasn't about feeling good in the moment. It was about cultivating the inner strength to remain grounded in any circumstance. The paradox, confidence built from failure. What makes self-confidence so intriguing is that it's often forged in the crucible of failure. Most people think confidence is built through success, but true, lasting confidence is developed through how we handle setbacks. Each failure is a brick in the foundation of self-confidence. It's not that you are unaffected by defeat, but that you understand failure is not final. It's merely a step in the process. Take the story of Thomas Edison. After thousands of failed experiments, when asked about his repeated setbacks, he replied, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That kind of confidence doesn't come from believing you're invincible. It comes from knowing that failure doesn't define you, your response to it does. Confidence grows every time you rise after falling. The power of kintsugi, confidence in brokenness. There's a profound Japanese concept called kintsugi, the art of repairing broken pottery with gold. The result isn't just a repaired object, it's a more beautiful and valuable one, because the cracks become part of the story. This is the essence of true self-confidence. It's not about hiding your flaws or past mistakes. It's about embracing them as integral parts of who you are. Your struggles and scars, like the golden kintsugi, don't make you broken. They make you unique, strong, and worthy. Confidence isn't a feeling, it's a habit. Most people think of confidence as something you feel, but in reality it's something you do. It's the small, everyday acts of courage, speaking up when it's easier to stay silent, pushing forward when doubt creeps in, trusting in your abilities when others might not. Confidence is built through action, not just thought. It's when you take that first step, even though you're scared, and do it anyway, that you build the habit of confidence. The Stoics had a practice where they would voluntarily endure discomfort, whether by fasting, sleeping on the floor, or foregoing luxuries, so they could strengthen their confidence in their own ability to handle whatever life might throw at them. It wasn't about being reckless. It was about proving to themselves that they didn't need external comforts to be whole. The secret to unshakable confidence, knowing you're enough. What's fascinating about self-confidence is that it comes not from comparing yourself to others, but from knowing that you are enough as you are. Confidence rooted in comparison is fragile. It depends on external validation. True confidence, however, is like an inner wellspring. It doesn't dry up when others succeed or fail. It's self-sustaining. When you know your worth and understand your capacity, you're not threatened by someone else's achievements. You can celebrate their success without feeling diminished. It's the difference between needing to be the best and knowing you're already enough. When you stop looking for external approval and start trusting in your intrinsic worth, your confidence becomes unshakable. The confidence-consistency connection. One of the most intriguing aspects of self-confidence is that it's built over time. It's not a one-time event or a sudden shift. It's the result of consistent, deliberate action. The more you practice self-belief, the stronger it becomes. You don't wake up one day with the kind of confidence that can withstand anything. It's built, piece by piece, through small victories, challenges overcome, and lessons learned. Consider Cristiano Ronaldo's journey. His confidence didn't come from being naturally gifted, it came from a relentless commitment to improvement. Day after day, he practiced, failed, adjusted, and grew. His self-confidence wasn't built on immediate success, but on the unwavering belief that he could improve, no matter the obstacles. He learned to trust in the process, in his own discipline, and in the power of consistent effort. The final truth: confidence is freedom. The most intriguing thing about self-confidence is that it gives you freedom. The freedom to take risks, to speak your truth, to pursue your goals without the constant weight of fear or doubt. True self-confidence isn't about being fearless. It's about acting in spite of fear. It's not about being perfect. It's about trusting in your ability to grow and learn through imperfections. True self-confidence is quiet and steadfast. It's the confidence that allows you to walk into a room knowing your worth, regardless of others' opinions. It's the confidence that enables you to pursue dreams that seem impossible, because you know you're capable of handling whatever challenges arise along the way. Your challenge: build confidence through action. Now ask yourself, what small acts can you take today to build your own self-confidence? Speak up when you usually stay quiet. Embrace a challenge that frightens you. And most importantly, learn to celebrate your failures as opportunities for growth. Because every step you take toward building your confidence is a step toward the person you are meant to become. A person who knows that they are enough, regardless of the circumstances. The journey to true self-confidence starts with the belief that you are worthy. From there, each small act of courage compounds, building the kind of unshakable confidence that can't be taken away. Will you begin today? Are you ready to make the sacrifices necessary to build the habits that will transform your life? This isn't about a fleeting burst of effort or a temporary fix. It's about committing to a process that will become a foundational part of who you are. Just like Cristiano Ronaldo, who came from a small island with a dream that seemed impossible, greatness isn't reserved for those born with extraordinary talents. It's available to anyone willing to embrace the principles that make success inevitable. Think of these 6 Stoic habits: hard work, patience, sacrifice, consistency, discipline, and self-confidence, not as abstract ideas to admire from a distance, but as daily practices you can embody. Every one of these habits, when woven together, becomes the very fabric of success, whether your goal lies in sports, business, art, or any other field. The path is clear, the blueprint proven. Success is not a destination, but a way of life that grows from small, intentional actions taken each day. Whether it's pushing yourself through moments of doubt, learning from failure, or making the necessary sacrifices along the way, each of these habits builds on the others, making your journey toward greatness unstoppable. Ronaldo's words are a powerful reminder. Your love makes you strong, but your dedication makes you unstoppable. This isn't just about raw talent, it's about relentless dedication, taking each step, no matter how small, and moving forward with unshakable consistency. Now, the question is, will you have the courage to begin? The choice is yours. Will you commit to building these habits into your life, not just for a day, a week, or a month, but for the long haul, so they become an inseparable part of who you are? Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and that step starts right now.